your service project. So there is a reflection paper, or just that it's answering about 6 questions about your service project, including proof that you did it. That is due on May 1st. Some of you are like waiting a little bit longer to do your projects for different reasons. If you've already talked to me, don't stress out. It's okay. We already talked, so don't worry about it. But if you have any difficulties with your project, let me know. So that's first thing. And then second thing about your paper, if you need any support with your paper or you need to resubmit or any of that kind of thing, you can let me know. But that was due. You guys can finish it up in class today too. I'll give you time to do that. But the last thing that I'm going to talk about this today and then through this week is giving a TED Talk. And I felt like in order to show you what I meant is I could have you watch TED Talks, which we will over these next few days. But I wanted to kind of give you my idea of what a TED Talk is. So a TED Talk is this idea that you want to passionately present knowledge with an intent to inspire your audience. It's not meant to be like a book report. It's not meant to just list a whole bunch of facts that we can't remember. It's supposed to have you passionately tell us what's important and that we might go do something about it. So this class has always been about what's important to you, not what's important to me. So I'm going to give you my own TED Talk, and I'm going to talk about that rubric tomorrow. But for right now, let me give you an example of what a TED Talk would be. So I'm going to start with a picture. And I'm going to begin this way. Can you believe that if you give just 1 week of your time, you can change a family forever? Now, I heard that and I said, there is no way that that could be true. Just by giving a week of my time, I could help change a family possibly forever. And so that's what happened. I went down to Mexico in the area of Tijuana with some people to go build a house. And before I got there, I was like, people were like, no, you shouldn't go. You're taking away jobs from the people of Mexico. Or you shouldn't go because it's unsafe and you'll probably get shot the minute you cross the border. Or people there will hate you and they'll try to hurt you and they really don't want you there. And what I found is really the opposite of all those answers. Number one, the people wanted us to come and they wanted us to serve because what we were doing was helping them move forward in a way that they couldn't do by themselves. And by providing the resources they needed, it helped the family forever. So here I took my family and I also took many of my church family and we went and built a house. And when I was talking to the community leaders in the Tijuana area, they said, this is what happens when you build a house. Number one, when you build a home, it keeps families together. They don't have to be separated. They don't have to move to other areas. They don't have to live in their car or in other places with grandma and grandpa. They can all be together. And so that is so important for a family. Building homes averts trafficking. Now, you know, when people don't have a safe place to live, when they don't have enough money, when they can't find a job, they can be easily manipulated by other people. And so that's what was happening. But by building a house, families can stay intact, people can be together. Instead of worrying about finding money for a house, they can worry about getting a job that will support the family, give them food, and keep them away from people who are harmful to their life. Number three, building homes promotes health and education. If a family has a home, the children can be safe there. The children don't have to go and work or go find a job. They can go to school and get educated. It also helps when you have a home, you stay dry and you stay safe and you stay protected. Building homes battles extreme poverty. Shelter is a basic need and lack of it creates so much stress. When someone receives a home, a basic need is cared for that allows them to put their energies and resources toward activities that will further the health of the family. Building homes promotes dignity. One of the best things at the end of the week, you have a big party to celebrate a home in a community and everybody comes. It's amazing. And they make food and it's like the best food that you can imagine if you're brave enough to eat food in Mexico. But it's just such a wonderful moment of a pride for each of those families. And then finally, by doing that, I recognize that it strengthened communities. We've built over 170 homes in a community. You can imagine when there was nothing and people lived with pallets stacked on top of each other. Now there's homes and now there's hope. Building homes, what I found out is that sets a family forward, they think at least 5 years, that they don't have to worry about all these other things and they can move forward. We found out that we weren't taking away jobs. We found out that people were welcoming and said, please come back year after year and do this for us because you are helping us. And no, they weren't running after us with guns or knives or illicit drugs. They were just normal people like us who needed help and compassion. We just built a house that kind of looked like this, a really simple house. And then I want to introduce you to, in finishing, this is the pink team. We built this house for this little family, husband and wife, 3 children. And I think actually a grandma and a grandpa might have come to live with them. We built the house. They were such a wonderful family. And usually every year we go to a little bit different place. But 2 years later, we went back to the same location. And we were afraid to see what was going to happen. Would the house still be there? There were fires, there were floods, there was all these things. And there this little house stood. And we went back and we kind of knocked on the door. And they came out and they totally recognized us. We had this big celebration and they showed us their house and how proud they were of what they had and what they had added on since we had been there. They brought in people from the community. They want to have another party. It was just such a wonderful event. So one of the things I want you to think about today, next time you're asked to give up some time to serve, maybe even for a week, don't be afraid to take the chance. So you could change a family, you can change a community, or you could even change yourself. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, that is the TED Talk. And that's kind of what I'm wanting from you is this idea just to passionately present. I would go all the time if I could. Sometimes I've thought about moving to San Diego so I could just go over the border and build homes. Once this COVID, they haven't been able to do it for a little while because of COVID. But that's one thing, when you think about your TED Talk, it's got to be what you care about, what you're passionate about. I want you to tell us about it. It only has to be 2 minutes minimum, 4 minutes maximum. Try to hit for 3 minutes. And it's an opportunity for you to share. Yeah, Frank?
For yours, you did something like you did, but could you just be something you're passionate about in general, or do you have to have done it?
Thank you, Frank. That's awesome. It should come out of whatever you did your project and your paper about.
Okay.
What you say about that is whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could go in like many different areas.
I get what you're saying.
But humor is good. Have fun with it. Or you can be passionate tearjerkers, crying, whatever you want to do. But just have fun with it. Be yourself. And we'll talk about a rubric tomorrow so you understand how to develop that. I'll show you how to do an outline because this is the kind of thing, if you know how to do just a 3-minute talk, it is just a really good skill to have. And a lot of you guys have done reports already. So that's what we're going to do. So if you're done with your paper, you feel good about that, then you can go ahead for the rest of the class and you can either do one of two things. You can begin thinking about your big idea, which we'll talk about tomorrow. Or you can do work for another class if you're swamped and you got to get that done. But I'm going to give you this time to work on your paper, and somebody asked me a couple questions, so I'll go ahead and look at your papers and see if I need to change anything. Okay. So the last thing I want to tell you, and you may want to do this sooner than later, from the Moodle page today, there is period 1 TED Talk signups. So we're doing this starting May 3rd. May 3rd is also AP testing. So I want you to look at your AP schedule and see what day you can make your TED Talk work, okay? If any of those dates don't work because you're taking 25 APs, then I want you to let me know and we can work out another date between now and the end of school. So those are the dates we're going to focus on. So I would do that sooner than later so you can make sure you get a date where you want to talk and it doesn't interfere with your AP testing.
Can we go fill this up?
Yeah, go for it.
Mr. Gallagher,
Yeah, Winston.
on the spreadsheet, like what does it mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Is that the order of the presentations?
No, thank you. Thanks, Winston. It's just how many people per day can speak. So I'm
Okay.
at 6 people per day. And again, if it doesn't work, I might throw another person in, but thank you, Winston. Yeah, that just means how many people per day.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Any other questions about that? Or your TED Talk or anything?
So we have to do this as a live presentation, or can we just record it?
No, it's live. We're doing live, but you'll be on Zoom if you're home. Of course.
How long is it supposed to be?
So the max is 4 minutes. The minimum is 2 minutes. So kind of head for between 2 and 3 minutes. And I'm going to talk to you tomorrow about that and the outline and how to do it so you can kind of stay focused. Anybody else? Great questions, but we'll go through it tomorrow too. All right, go ahead and finish your papers up and do whatever else you need to do today, and we'll go from there.